Were you aware that El Salvador holds the title of the tiniest country in Central America? However, don't let its modest size deceive you. This nation resembles a treasure trove brimming with endless surprises ready to be uncovered. What makes the locals reluctant to construct towering skyscrapers? The shores here are not just for crafting sand sculptures. They also boast waves reaching the height of a 3-story building, offering a thrilling adventure. Moreover, this place is known for its Bitcoin president, who enabled the nation to gain as much as $110 million from Bitcoin's recent price surge. Nevertheless, despite its significant name, the Savior, the community and adult women here frequently feel unhappy and unsafe. There are countless tales and observations about this country, so join us in exploring El Salvador in today's travel documentary. El Salvador. This is indeed a country situated in Central America, and the locals commonly call it simply Salvador, often leading to confusion with Brazil's third-largest city, also named Salvador. Although these two locations are separated by about 2,000 miles, roughly the same distance as New York to Texas in the US, they are frequently mistaken for each other. The name El Salvador, meaning the Savior in Spanish, the nation's official language, carries a truly meaningful and fascinating significance, don't you think? El Salvador boasts a coastline along the Pacific Ocean to the south, spanning approximately 300 kilometers of beach, which makes it unique as the only Central American country without access to the Caribbean Sea. Its borders include Guatemala to the west and Honduras to the north and east. Among its neighbors, Honduras shares the longest border with El Salvador and is considered one of its most amicable allies. For a deeper dive into the less favorable history between these two nations, be sure to watch our travel documentary filmed in Honduras. El Salvador is the smallest nation in Central America, spanning just 8,123 square miles. Even the tiny country of Belize surpasses it in size, as El Salvador is comparable in area to the U.S. state of Massachusetts. Despite its small size, El Salvador is home to around 6.5 million people, making its population roughly 15.76 times larger than that of Belize. It also holds the title of the most densely populated country in Central America. Unlike other Central American nations with populations of African descent, such as Belize, where about 21% of the population has African heritage, El Salvador is the only country in the region without any African ancestry. Its people are predominantly mestizo, a blend of European and indigenous heritage, making up about 90% of the population. Additionally, it is estimated that more than 2 million Salvadorans reside abroad, with a large portion having migrated to the United States. The U.S. hosts the largest Salvadoran immigrant population, with prominent communities in cities such as Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., and Houston. On the other hand, approximately 5,000 Americans live or retire in El Salvador, primarily in areas like Antigua, Cuscatlán, and San Benito, both renowned for their excellent quality of life. Unlike the towering high-rises scattered throughout New York, El Salvador has relatively few tall buildings. Most of these are in the capital city, San Salvador, where the tallest structure, Torre El Pedregal, rises 110 meters, 350 feet with 28 floors, comparable to the Met Building in New York. However, the lack of skyscrapers isn't due to poverty, but rather the country's climate and terrain. With an average annual temperature ranging from 70 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, the weather feels comfortably warm for visitors. However, being located on the Pacific Ring of Fire means El Salvador has numerous active volcanoes and is prone to frequent earthquakes. San Salvador, the capital and the economic and cultural heart of El Salvador, is home to roughly 1/3 of the nation's population, giving it a lively and dynamic vibe. In more developed neighborhoods like Escalon and Santa Elena, as well as along major thoroughfares, the streets are generally clean. However, in smaller alleyways or suburban areas, waste and pollution continue to be evident challenges. Pigeons are an unmistakable presence in San Salvador, found everywhere from bustling streets to lofty tree branches, especially in crowded spots like Plaza Gerardo Barrios. These birds, often seen as symbols of peace, freedom, and equality, are plentiful in the city. Sadly, however, the social reality in San Salvador, and El Salvador as a whole, falls short of embodying those ideals. The 2023 Global Gender Gap Report reveals that countries like Iceland, Finland, Norway, and New Zealand rank as the happiest for women. While the US stands at 43rd, it fares much better than El Salvador, which ranks 140th out of 146 countries. This stark disparity raises the question, what factors have contributed to women and El Salvador ranking so poorly? Walking through the streets of El Salvador, you'll quickly notice that women here possess unique traits compared to those in other Central American countries. With a touch of European ancestry, many have lighter or subtly tanned skin. As in much of Latin America, Salvadoran women are shaped by traditional beauty ideals, where fair skin is often prized. However, their most captivating feature is undoubtedly their striking, curvy figures, which exude confidence and charm. Occasionally, you may come across women with distinct features, such as darker skin tones, slimmer builds, or shorter statures compared to others. Some might even display tattoos on their faces or bodies. These women are often indigenous, known locally as peoples. According to some travelers, indigenous women in this region can appear more rugged and less welcoming to tourists compared to their mestizo counterparts. But rest assured, the number of peoples is relatively small, and the majority of women in El Salvador are mestizo, who are generally warm and welcoming to visitors. However, unlike places like Thailand, where locals frequently greet you with smiles, Salvadoran women tend to smile less. Their expressions often appear serious or even anxious. While their daily attire or festival costumes are typically vibrant and colorful, helping them stand out in a crowd, these bright hues seem to act as a shield, concealing the deeper struggles within their souls. According to a United Nations report, the Central America and Caribbean region, including El Salvador, is a place where women face considerable challenges in their daily lives. In El Salvador, gender inequality remains a pressing issue, with statistics revealing that 5 out of 10 adult women have endured unfair or harmful treatment from their partners or other men. Tragically, in 2018, data showed that every 4 hours, an adult woman in El Salvador lost her life. What about the laws in El Salvador? After centuries of inequality and mistreatment of women, the country only introduced laws to protect women's rights in 2010. However, as reflected in the 2018 data, the rate of unhappiness among women remains alarmingly high, suggesting that these laws have had minimal impact on improving the social situation. Tragically, if adult women take measures to defend themselves and unintentionally harm their partners in the process, they could face legal consequences under the country's justice system. What are your thoughts on the lives of adult women in El Salvador? Are there countries where women face even greater challenges? If you have insights, feel free to share them in the comments below. When traveling to El Salvador, it's important for everyone, not just women, to remain vigilant and prioritize safety to ensure a rewarding trip. With approximately 2% of adults, around 135,000 people, reportedly involved in harmful activities, staying aware of your surroundings is essential while exploring this unique country. Choose safe and popular destinations such as El Tunco Beach, the artistic town of Suchitoto, Cerro Verde National Park, or the archaeological site of Joya de Serén, often referred to as the Pompeii of the Americas. These locations are not only appealing, but also benefit from a noticeable security presence, ensuring peace of mind. Be cautious and avoid low-security areas, especially when traveling late at night, particularly in the suburbs of San Salvador. Always stay mindful of your personal belongings. When visiting local markets or crowded attractions, keep your items close and ensure your bags or backpacks are securely fastened. Carry only a limited amount of cash and avoid displaying valuables such as jewelry, luxury watches, or smartphones. If you need to withdraw money, use ATMs located inside banks or other secure areas to minimize risk. For a safer and more enriching experience, consider hiring reputable local guides. They can provide insights into El Salvador's fascinating history and culture while helping you steer clear of unsafe areas. When shopping in traditional markets, stay polite while negotiating prices, and carefully inspect items to avoid ending up with low-quality goods. After reading all this safety advice, are you still interested in visiting this country? If your answer is yes, comment with a 3. If not, comment with an 8. We appreciate your feedback. Stay vigilant against common scams when visiting El Salvador. Avoid exchanging money with strangers, as there's a risk of receiving counterfeit bills. If you're American, you won't need to worry about currency exchange since El Salvador has used the USD as its official currency since 2001. Additionally, in a groundbreaking move, El Salvador adopted Bitcoin as an official currency in 2021, becoming the first country in the world to do so. President Nayib Bukele, at just 39 years old, is famously known as the Bitcoin president due to his substantial investments in Bitcoin and his habit of sharing his transactions openly on Twitter. He even humorously claims to have made trades on his phone while taking a shower. As the world leader with the largest Bitcoin investments, Bukele channels the profits into building schools, hospitals, and various welfare projects to benefit El Salvador. Another ambitious vision from President Bukele is the creation of Bitcoin City, a futuristic city with no income tax, property tax, or capital gains tax. The city is planned to run entirely on geothermal energy sourced from nearby volcanoes. While the plan was unveiled in 2021, the project has yet to move forward into practical implementation. The government of El Salvador has installed numerous Bitcoin ATMs across the country and even provided each citizen with $30 in Bitcoin through the Chivo Wallet digital app to promote the use of cryptocurrency. This initiative becomes even more fascinating when examining Bitcoin's value over time. When El Salvador first adopted Bitcoin, its value was approximately $52,000. By December 2024, the value had surged to $97,078, marking an increase of over 86.7%. From this price rise alone, the government earned an estimated $110 million in profits. Quite remarkable, wouldn't you agree? When it comes to safety, opting for registered taxis or ride-hailing services like Uber is a smart and convenient choice. With the app, you can easily set your pickup location and destination, and the driver will come to you. If you prefer more independence, renting a car is another option. However, keep in mind that traffic in El Salvador, particularly in the capital San Salvador, can be quite hectic. Always exercise caution and try to avoid driving during peak hours or late at night. For a more authentic and enjoyable experience, consider hopping on the colorful buses that are iconic to the region. In El Salvador, the small and medium-sized bus urbano buses play a vital role in daily life. These buses, adorned with vibrant artistic designs, weave through cities and towns, creating a lively atmosphere and serving as a popular mode of transportation for locals. For longer journeys, consider the larger buses, commonly called buses interurbanos or coaster buses, which connect cities and towns. Riding these buses offers a chance to take in the scenic views, immerse yourself in the local rhythm, and enjoy the occasional lively music from the distinctive sound systems on board, a truly unique travel experience. It's easy for both tourists and locals to become overly focused on security concerns and overlook the incredible natural beauty and vibrant culture that El Salvador has to offer. This pristine land, with its breathtaking beaches, towering volcanoes, and fascinating historical sites, is a hidden gem in Central America, waiting to welcome those with a love for exploration. In El Salvador, the stunning beaches are more than just places for sandcastles. They are a haven for surfers from around the globe. With a 307-kilometer coastline, the country offers some of the longest and most powerful waves in the Pacific. Among its many beaches, La Libertad and El Tunco stand out as the most popular surfing destinations, drawing both locals and international visitors. La Libertad, located just 34 kilometers from the capital, San Salvador, features beaches catering to surfers of all skill levels. It is renowned for Playa Punta Roca, hailed as the lighthouse of the surfing world, where waves can soar as high as 9 meters, equivalent to a 3-story building. For nature lovers and trekking enthusiasts, El Salvador offers unforgettable experiences. Cerro Verde National Park stands out with its trails leading to stunning volcanic peaks, such as Izalco and Santa Ana. From the summit of Santa Ana, you'll be rewarded with a breathtaking view of Lake Coatepec, a volcanic lake whose waters shift between emerald green and blue hues. Lake Coatepec isn't just a visual marvel. It also provides thrilling activities like kayaking, swimming, or savoring a meal at one of the floating restaurants on the lake. If you want to learn more about ancient history, head to Joya de Siren, often called the Pompeii of the Americas, which provides insight into the everyday life of the ancient Maya. Other archaeological sites like San Andres and Tazumal, with their towering pyramids, are also must-visit destinations. Your trip to El Salvador wouldn't be complete without exploring the Ruta de las Flores, or Flower Route. This picturesque journey takes you through charming towns surrounded by vibrant flower fields, cascading waterfalls, and bustling artisan markets. Along the way, you can savor freshly brewed coffee at local farms and witness the entire coffee-making process, from harvesting to brewing. El Salvador captivates visitors not only with its breathtaking landscapes, but also with its lively and colorful festivals where the country's rich culture and traditions come to life. One of El Salvador's most renowned celebrations is the Patronales Festival, Fiestas Patronales, held every August in San Salvador to honor the city's patron saint, Divino Salvador del Mundo. This week-long cultural extravaganza features grand parades, beauty pageants, and vibrant music performances. A centerpiece of the festival is the religious ceremony La Bajada, where thousands gather to watch the statue of Christ being carried through the city's main streets, accompanied by applause and traditional music. The colorful parades, elaborately decorated floats, and lively dances performed by girls in traditional costumes create a mesmerizing spectacle you won't want to miss. We must not overlook the Flower and Coffee Festival, Festival de las Flores y del Café, in the town of Apaneca, nestled along the Ruta de las Flores. Each November, this charming town bursts to life with artistic flower parades, lively street music performances, and bustling markets offering pure, locally grown coffee. Girls at the festival often don traditional costumes in bright, vivid colors, their fresh flower crowns and radiant smiles adding a magical touch to the already enchanting atmosphere. Are you a coffee lover? El Salvador is renowned for producing some of the world's finest coffee, celebrated for its rich, smooth flavor and perfect balance. Although small in size, El Salvador was once the fourth largest coffee exporter globally. Over 95% of the coffee grown here is Arabica, with popular varieties like bourbon, pacas, and pacamara offering distinct flavors ranging from tropical fruit aromas to rich profiles with a hint of light acidity. Most coffee is processed using the wet method and lightly roasted, resulting in an elegant, refined taste that has captivated coffee enthusiasts around the world. El Salvador isn't just famous for its coffee, it's also known for its exceptional rum. Crafted through a distillation process using pure molasses, Salvadoran rum boasts a rich, sweet flavor with subtle hints of spice, making it an excellent choice for sipping and pairing with the country's delicious local delicacies. No discussion about El Salvador would be complete without mentioning its cuisine, especially its national dish, pupusas. These thick corn or rice cakes are stuffed with a variety of fillings, including cheese, pork, refried beans, or even luraco flowers, an edible blossom native to Central America. Pupusas are traditionally served with curtido, a tangy and lightly spicy pickled cabbage slaw, and a flavorful tomato salsa. More than just a meal, pupusas are a beloved cultural staple and an integral part of Salvadoran daily life. If you're a seafood enthusiast, don't miss out on sopa de mariscos, a hearty seafood soup featuring shrimp, crab, clams, and fresh fish. Made with coconut milk, this soup boasts a rich and aromatic flavor, making it the perfect treat after a day of exploring the coast. Another must-try is yuca frita con chicharrón, a beloved street food dish of crispy fried cassava paired with savory fried pork. Served with a refreshing cabbage salad and mild tomato sauce, the crunchy texture of the cassava combined with the flavorful pork will leave a delicious and lasting impression. If you're concerned about the quality of life, particularly healthcare in El Salvador, you'll be relieved to know that the healthcare system is steadily improving. Major medical facilities such as Hospital Nacional Rosales and Diagnostica Escalon in San Salvador offer basic healthcare services and emergency treatments, staffed by experienced professionals. A noteworthy advantage in El Salvador is the significantly lower healthcare costs compared to many other countries, especially the United States. For instance, a general health checkup at Diagnostica Escalon typically costs $50 to $70, whereas similar services in the US often exceed $200 to $300. Healthcare costs are quite low, aren't they? But it's not just healthcare. Other living expenses in El Salvador are also very reasonable. For housing, rental prices in major cities like San Salvador, Santa Ana, and San Miguel vary significantly. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center usually costs between $300 and $500 per month, while in the suburbs, rent drops to just $200 to $350 per month. For shorter stays, hotels typically charge as little as $30 to $40 per night. For dining, eating out is quite affordable. Meals at casual eateries typically cost around $3 to $5, while dining at upscale restaurants can range from $20 to $40 per person. For those who enjoy cooking, grocery prices are reasonable. 1 kilogram of beef costs about $7 to $10, a kilogram of rice is around $1.50, and a dozen eggs cost $2.50 to $3. Local markets are great for buying fresh vegetables at much lower prices than supermarkets. For example, 1 kilogram of tomatoes costs about $1, and a bunch of greens is only 50 cents to $1. Transportation in El Salvador is very budget-friendly. Public buses are the cheapest option, with fares ranging from 25 cents to 50 cents per ride. Ride services like Uber or taxis typically cost between $3 and $15 per trip, depending on the distance. For those who prefer to rent a car, the average rental price is about $30 to $50 per day, with fuel costing around $4.50 to $5 per gallon. However, traffic can be quite hectic, especially in crowded urban areas like San Salvador, so caution is advised. Healthcare in El Salvador is regarded positively, particularly in private hospitals like Diagnostica Escalon and Metropolitano, where medical services meet international standards. Consultation fees typically range from $40 to $70 per visit, while basic blood tests cost between $15 to $30. Dental care is also affordable, with services such as tooth extractions or cleanings priced around $30 to $50. Utility costs in El Salvador, which include electricity, water, internet, and gas, typically range from $100 to $200 per month for an average apartment. Electricity expenses are slightly higher, especially during summer, due to air conditioning use. Internet services cost around $30 to $50 per month and offer stable speeds, particularly in urban areas. Entertainment and outdoor activities in El Salvador are enjoyable and budget-friendly. A movie ticket costs around $5, while entrance fees to national parks like Cerro Verde or Lake Coatepec range from $3 to $10 per person. For fitness enthusiasts, gym memberships typically cost between $20 to $40 per month, depending on the facilities and services offered. In summary, living in El Salvador for a month would cost approximately $700 to $1,200, while a 7-day trip can be as affordable as $400 to $600. With these affordable costs, do you think El Salvador could be a place you'd visit or even settle down in? If your answer is yes, comment with a 1. If not, comment with a 0. We'll show you how to live here comfortably on a $600 budget without needing to save. If you're truly interested in visiting this country, comment with a 7, and we'll share all the details about visa requirements and other essential information for your trip to El Salvador. We've come to the end of our travel documentary about El Salvador. Thank you for staying with us until the very end. If you found today's documentary helpful, please give it a like and share your thoughts in the comments. If there's anything you feel we could improve, let us know so we can make our next journey even better. See you on our next adventure as we continue exploring the world.